Hey, what is going on guys? Danny here, hope you've all been doing well. In this video, I wanted to do something a little bit different this time, and shift away from the usual technology and PC hardware discussions you guys are so used to seeing on my channel. What's funny is that when I started this channel, I actually wanted it to be more geared towards PC gaming, where I talked about various games, even did some reviews, and just talk about various gaming topics in general. But it never really ended up turning out like that, and I found myself going more towards the PC hardware side of things, tech reviews, benchmarks, things of that sort, probably because I got more reviews than my crappy Let's Plays I've done in the past. Nonetheless, I wanted to be able to make some gaming related videos from time to time and give you guys my thoughts on what I think about this game, or this title, or that developer. Don't worry, PC hardware and benchmarks are probably still going to be my bread and butter, but I just wanted to branch out to different topics that, in a way, I guess, are still PC related. Pretty sure they go hand in hand with each other. But moving on, and what I wanted to discuss in this video was why I found Apex Legends, the new Battle Royale from Respawn Entertainment and EA, to be so enjoyable, and also talk about why I've enjoyed it a lot more than Fortnite. Now, this isn't a video where I'm going to declare that one title is better than the other. I think they both have their place in the industry. It's just going to revolve around why I personally find Apex better than Fortnite. To start off, the biggest reason why I personally found Apex to be a lot more enjoyable than Fortnite was because the latter relies so heavily on the building aspect of the game, and that for me, it takes away the excitement of trying to fight other players. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I hate the building aspect of Fortnite. It definitely gives you the opportunity to create some unique situations to overcome your opponent. I actually played the game non-stop when it came out for like the first 2 months, and did enjoy being able to build some walls and stairs in the middle of a fight. This old clip shows you that people would build up a couple walls but still focused more on trying to fight each other, like the old-fashioned way. However, the reason why I ended up dreading it so much later on was because people ended up becoming so reliant on it, and the meta has become build first and worry about your opponent later. I mean, when you shoot someone, you would think their reaction would be to start to fight back, but instead, their first reaction is to build a tower of 100 stairs first. That to me really isn't all that amusing, probably because I sucked at building, but I'm just trying to get into a good firefight. I'm not trying to play Minecraft with you. Here's a clip I found from a channel called Jomac, and you can see two players engaging in not even a fight, but I'd call it a build-off. These guys are spending more time building than they are trying to fight each other, and that's what I found to be the most annoying part. Like I said, maybe people find this to be fun, but it's really not my cup of tea. I'm more of a fan of a straightforward shooter, where I don't have to worry about building up a wall, where I have to use existing structures for cover and not worry about 1,000 stairs. Therefore, in terms of getting rid of building, Apex is a lot better for that. The second thing I wanted to talk about was the shooting mechanics, and how they differ from game to game. Apex Legends uses your traditional projectile shooting mechanic, the one everyone has been so used to since playing COD, Battlefield, CSGO, Titanfall, and other various popular shooters in the FPS genre. It's what I've become so accustomed to and enjoy. It's a straightforward mechanic that just works, and it's the fairest of them all. Fortnite, on the other hand, uses a bloom system. It's the radius around the direction you're shooting, where there's a random chance for your bullets you shoot to go off in a slightly different direction, even if you haven't changed your aim. So depending on where you shoot and where the bullets hit your opponent, it's completely random. Of course, with weapons like snipers or rocket launchers, this wasn't the case, but for the rest of the guns, which are more common, it really ruined a lot of encounters for me. Because it was RNG based, every one of your fights were based on this flip coin situation. Which I guess is probably one of the reasons why so many players back themselves into the build-off tactic. I want to be able to get familiar with a gun and how it behaves in terms of recoil, firing pattern, rate, etc. Like the Devotion from Apex is one of my favorite guns because while it starts off slow, it gradually increases its firing rate and ends up doing a lot of damage. Seriously, you can just pretty much steamroll a whole squad with that gun. With Fortnite, you would have to mitigate the bloom system by also having to rely on tap firing, crouching, sacrificing mobility, or use guns like a shotgun after you've surprised your opponent by building up so closely to them. With Apex, it's as simple as your bullets going where you aim, and if you miss, it's because you actually missed. That's it. At the end of the day, it's the traditional shooting system that has more to do with skill than anything else. The next thing I wanted to talk about was the inventory system and items. In Apex Legends, you're only allowed to wield 2 guns, and the inventory space you start off with is a lot more limited. Of course, you do have the opportunity to hold more stuff as you find higher level backpacks, which allow for more inventory space. But this limited space and 2 guns per person makes you and your squad actually think more critically in regards to equipment management. sharing ammo slots with medkits, syringes, shield chargers, and other items makes it so that you don't become a walking bank of items. You have to take the time to at least take into account what you have, how much of it you have, and how much of it can you carry. For example, you're in a late game situation. You know you're probably only going to get into a couple more fights or so. Do you drop your medkits in exchange for more ammo or vice versa? I personally don't even bother to carry grenades and prefer to overload myself with more ammo. With Fortnite, you can hold a plethora of materials with you, and you can pretty much carry as much ammo as you want, and these supplies don't conflict with other items. Not to mention, the ability to cycle through 5 different weapons or utility items like a portable fortress really makes the whole RNG factor become a lot more apparent. Imagine you land in your area and you find nothing but gray weapons, and another player near you finds a purple scar, a golden sniper, a blue RPG, and a portable fortress. You basically have no way to compete with that. I also like how in Apex, there are no level 1 or 3 guns, but it's the weapon attachments that can help aid you perform better with the weapon of your choice. With Fortnite, however, there's a lot more that ends up holding your hand, like jump pads, traps, rifts, and etc. Because to be honest, I never found myself going into a fight in Apex and wondering, oh my god, I wonder what guns those guys might have, do I even have a chance against them? Because I've had moments where I've landed and only found a pistol, and I've had other people around me find various types of guns, but I was able to take out pretty much almost an entire squad with nothing but just a pistol, which was fantastic. I also prefer the map size of Apex as opposed to the map in Fortnite. Along with the high mobility of characters, the slide mechanics, getting around to different places around the map, of even being a larger distance away from the circle was hardly a concern for me. I haven't played Fortnite in quite a while now, but I've heard they added planes, carts, and other means of travel. But I remember I'd have so many moments where I'd land, and after the initial landing skirmishes, I wouldn't see a single soul until it came down to the top 10, where most of the time was spent running across the map racing against the storm. And what's funny is that Fortnite allows for 100 players in a single match, whereas Apex, it's only 60. So I thought it was just interesting to see that in Apex, I'd have a lot more interactions with other players in matches, whereas in Fortnite, with more players, I'd see maybe 2 people at most some games. Apex Legends also has a fantastic ping system. You can pretty much ping whatever you want, whether you're spotting an enemy, loot, or telling your group you're going to be watching an area. It allows for quick communication so that everyone can remain on the same page, regardless of whether or not you prefer voice chat. And finally, this is more of a subjective opinion, but I really prefer the graphics and realistic style environment of Apex Legends as opposed to the cartoony style of Fortnite. And what's impressive is that while the game looks so visually stunning, it runs very smoothly across a lot of hardware. Even a Ryzen 5 2400G with its integrated Vega 11 graphics can maintain an average of 60 FPS. So those are the reasons why I pretty much prefer Apex Legends over Fortnite, if I had to choose one or the other in the Battle Royale genre. Like I said, both have their places, and I'm not declaring that one is better than the other. Some people will prefer the realism of Apex, while others will like a more casual approach and the building aspect of Fortnite that it offers. Nonetheless, I'm pretty happy that the game has gotten all the attention that it has. I believe Respawn Entertainment reported that it had hit a player base of 50 million players, which is just fantastic to hear. I've mentioned it in previous videos, but it was disheartening to see Titanfall 2 become so neglected simply due to a poor release window, because it really was a fantastic game. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend doing so. You can get it for fairly cheap now too. I look forward to the future developments of Apex Legends, and I'm sure it's going to continue to be a strong contender in both the FPS and BR genres. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video to be interesting and informative. Leave a like if you did, leave your comments down below, check out the video description for my other videos and ways to support the channel. If you're interested in more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.